It's 7 o'clock on a Tuesday night, and where else would I be but here with DJ Stetzer of Little Hearts Academy and Imperfect Heroes podcast. And it sounds a little echoey in here, so I apologize for that, but I am finally in my office, and we still have boxes and and stuff to get put away, and there are more boxes to come, but we're happy to be here. So today, before we get started, I really would like to talk to you about our Cicerone Masters and the Cicerone Society that's open. It's going to close on Friday at midnight. So you've got till then. We only open it up 3 days or 3 times a year. And so this is our first opening actually for the year 2023. So that's pretty exciting. And we are excited to have new people, and we're going to have some great topics. We're going to talk about your parenting style and how to identify that, and how does that match with the kids in your family. And so we know that all our kids have their own personalities, and some may react well to one parenting style, while others may need a different parenting style. So we're going to talk about all of those things and how do you maneuver all of that. We're going to talk about how kids grow and what's appropriate for their age. I always laugh when I hear a parent say, act your age, because I always want to say they are, because their age is not necessarily a convenient way for you to deal with things. And so, but if we know that they're acting their age, it doesn't mean that that behavior is acceptable, but it does mean that we don't have to be upset or nervous about it, and we can just move forward with, okay, this is where you are, so let's look at what the next step is and how I can support you in that. We have a lot of fun with other parents, and you make connections and friendships, and it's just a great thing. So one of the things I'm doing this time is, so the Cicerone Masters is the group that we meet once a week on Thursdays at 6. And then we're going to have the Cicerone Society thing. And that is 4 lessons, but each, or 4 modules, but each module has at least 5 lessons within it. And we talk about how to expect your kids to grow socially and emotionally, and how to support them, things that you can do. And then we also talk about education. And so where do they need to be when they're starting kindergarten or first or second grade, and what are the things that you can do at home to help them and support them in that endeavor. So it's an extra thing that's usually extra, but I'm putting them both together. If you go to the website www.littleheartsacademyusa.com, you're going to see it'll say Cicerone Masters and Cicerone Society bundle. You click on that and you'll be able to get both of those for one low price. So there we are. All right, let's get into the topic of the day. So this week's podcast is about being a leader in your own family. And that's interesting because you can become a parent just by, giving birth, or, being part of that process, or by adoption. And so that's a great way to be begin to make that family work. But it does take some special leadership qualities to help you be more successful as a parent, and as your family grows, and so that you're establishing those boundaries, and you're understanding where your kids are. Think of what a great leader is and how inspiring they are. Very few bosses, when you say they're a great leader, are the ones that yell and diminish what you do. They humiliate you. We've all had bosses like that, I guess. Well, maybe not all. Some of us might be real lucky. But how do we feel about those bosses? We don't feel like they're leaders, right? Sometimes they're too easy and too soft, and so people take advantage of them. And then you start resenting those people that take advantage because you're working your butt off, you're doing your job, and yet that person that isn't is still getting, a lot of accommodations and credit. And while we need to be sure and give people the accommodations that they need, as a leader, you're going to help them go beyond where they are. And so if they are in a place where they're struggling with tempers, they're struggling with being able to label emotions, we can come in as a mentor, as a leader, and help them through that. And then you're going to see amazing things happen. When you think of a great leader, it's someone that you want to follow. Who do you follow on your socials? Who do you follow in your business, in your faith? Who do you follow? And then why do you follow them? And so I have Susan Husa. She is amazing, and she is a coach. She's a life coach, and her is animate coaching, animate. You'll have to listen to the podcast, but she is amazing, and I've worked with her on several other projects. And so I was really excited when she agreed to come and do an episode with us, because she really is good at watching people and helping them come to the conclusions of the things that they need to do to be more inspirational in their relationships. And so whether that's at a job or in a family or in a marriage or whatever, Susan's really good at helping people find that, light, and then shine it in a way that it draws those that we want. So we're not forcing them, we are drawing them near us, right? And what a great difference that is in, setting up your boundaries, and I'm going to do this and this and this, or being a leader, and the kids, and maybe a spouse, maybe friends, maybe siblings, I don't know, but you're able to really care about them, see them for who they are, and then help them along their path, help them to be successful, not to feel successful, because there are people that, we um, help them along and say, oh, this was great, this was wonderful, and it really wasn't. So they feel successful, but they really weren't. We want them to actually be successful in their endeavors and the things that are important to them. That's what we want them to be able to reach and to be excited about and to do great things with. So I hope you'll listen. It's episode 92. Can you believe it? It's episode 92, and we will be continuing on our path with helping parents to find the information and the insight that they need to become the parents that they want to be, that their children deserve. And, let me just tell you something. If you're trying and you're working, you're looking for new avenues, you're, getting, heaven help us. There are days when you put your head on the pillow and you just think, I didn't hit anybody today. We're good. Or nobody died. We're good. It's some days are just hard to be a parent, and you beat yourself up and you feel bad about it. And I'm here to support you. I don't want you to ever feel like you're not good enough. But I do want you to be able to look with curiosity at how you respond to things, and instead of getting mad about it, saying, okay, well, that didn't go well. Wonder what happened. And then you just sit and you analyze and you figure it out. And then you know how to set yourself up for success, because you want to set up your family for success, but you want to set up yourself for success as well. Parents, it's a hard job, and Boy, do I know it. And so whether you're new to parenting, whether you're a foster parent, a step parent, an adoptive parent, um, or a parent of teens, and God help you all, right? You will be able to look at things normal with, well, not normally, but you will look at things through a curious lens, and you will start finding answers because you're looking for them. Everybody has room to improve. I always said when I was teaching that any teacher who thinks that they don't need to do in-service, they've got all the answers already, they need to stop. There's always more to learn as a teacher, and there's likewise always more to learn as a parent. And so you want to be able to approach it in a way that it's just going to help you learn more and be more effective and be a better leader and strengthen that relationship and help your children to come to decisions on their own, and how to weigh that, and ask the three important questions. What's the best thing that could happen? What's the worst thing that could happen? And how will this affect the others around me? And if they can ask those questions, but first we have to be asking those questions too. If I respond in this way, and you start asking those questions, the more you practice that, the faster all of that will happen, and you'll be doing it in an instant. Asking all three questions, our minds are amazing things. They're capable of so many amazing things. And so you want to be able to get to a point where you're just automatically understanding, projecting, and then making a decision based on what you come up with. So before we go, I want to remind you that we also, in addition to the Cicerone Masters and Society being open until Friday, we also have, again till Friday, the parent-teacher conferences. And so I want to help you understand how your teacher comes to conclusions. What are the best questions that you can ask? Because really, you only get about 15 minutes to get a ton of information. I've had some schools go as little as 10 minutes, and I don't know how you can get all that information in one session that short. So how do you make the best use of that time? And then we're going to take the leadership skills that you're going to learn from listening to the podcast, episode 92. And you're going to be able to use those leadership skills and combine them with the information that you're going to get from your teacher if you haven't had parent-teacher conferences yet for the spring. And you're going to know how to help your child, your teacher, even their classroom, and yourself move forward in a way that supports this child and helps them to have the life that they were intended to have and to be who they were meant to be. And you know what, those things reveal themselves, don't they, as the kids grow and they expand their horizons. They try new things, and they start having friendships, and they move on to bigger relationships, and they start understanding that they have an impact in the world. And whether that impact is going to be through sports, through kindness, through academia, whatever it is, through faith, they will be able to start seeing how they love, how they feel, and then you're going to help them follow the path that they're directed in. And what a great opportunity that is. It's such a blessing to be around these kids. So I hope that you will check into that as well. Next week, we are talking to an author, Stephen Crane, and he wrote a book, I Can Appreciate That. I'm in the middle of reading that book actually right now, and I highly recommend it. It's just been so engaging and so positive. And so that will be next Monday, and I'll be talking to you about it next Tuesday. So until then, let's find joy in parenting. See you guys later. Bye-bye.